Uh, Look, I mean, I've shorted so many stocks over my career. It's really not. The dot com bubble was way worse. In dot coms, you'd have stocks that go from 10 to 100, and they were just as useless and valueless at 10. And at 100, you're just sitting there like, what the fuck happened? And I think a couple things to learn are one, don't have huge positions. Two, if you can buy cheap hedges, you buy them. I think Rigetti is a great short. Um, Three, try to be long something that'll benefit. Obviously, in this case of quantum, it's like some of the trade has been. Some people have put on like, okay, let me long ion Q and short Rigetti because that's like ion Q is a little more established and Rigetti is less established. But usually that'll work the other way around because people want to speculate on speculation. So quantum is speculative to begin with, and they're like, "Give me the most speculative quantum." It's like I want the best dose of heroin, and other people, just give me the ion Q. That's a low dose. So it's yeah, it's a really fascinating bubble, but you have to understand that this is like if you were there for GameStop, um, that was crazier. If you were there for the dot com bubble, that was crazier. Um, yeah, I'm familiar with intuitive machines. You can't prepare for a 10x when you are short, but you have to think that it's possible. And so I'll give you guys an example. And this is kind of what I did a little bit of, which is why I still have a portfolio to even speak of. So if you short, although it's a lot smaller than it was before I met quantum computing. If you short, say, 10,000 shares of Rigetti, and let's say I don't think Apple's a bubble. Apple's very profitable. A bubble is when there's just an unreasonable, insane valuation. Um, that's just totally out of control. Okay, so let's say you're short Rigetti. Let's say you're short right now at 1747, and you want to be concerned that okay, maybe in some crazy universe this goes to 40 or 50 or 100 or whatever. Well, you could say, let me go long. Let's pick a. Let's see if we can pick something here. Options. This is next week. Jan 20 calls. The Jan 20. Jan 3. Wow. Jan 3rd calls. And let's say you could buy 100 for argument's sake, but I'm going to show you some other permutations. I'm going to put it down here. And these are the 20 calls. Okay, so let's say you buy these at $2.35. So now basically your new short break even is as if you shorted now at 15. So you have to ask yourself, by next week, will it make sense to short Rigetti at my 15.12 break even? Am I willing to short Rigetti at 15.12? And you might say, yeah, I mean it's up $2 today for no reason. Even if that reverses, I'm now good to go. But it may not reverse, it could get worse. So why would I lower my break even? That's annoying. I don't want to lower my break even. I want my break even to be as high as possible. Well, the nice thing about this break even is that it protects you from any move above 20. So you've capped your max loss to 22.35. So the most you can lose here at least in 1 week, is if the stock goes to say 100, well, you lose $83 on the common stock, and that's times 10,000. So you lose $830,000 on the common. Well, that would mostly put you in bankruptcy, but the calls go up. The 20 calls at 100 are worth 80. And you bought them for $2.35. So you made $78, and that's also times 10K. So you only lost 50K. So the most you can lose in this scenario is $50,000. So you can plan out ahead of time, how much risk do you want? You can know exactly what your max loss is. And you can do this in a partial amount. So you might say, well, I want to be short some. I don't want to lower my break even that bad. So I'm just going to buy 50 calls. Well, that's great. Your break even is a lot smaller, so you would profit even at, say, 16. But on the flip side, this gain would be much less. It would be something like 39 or something. And you would get smoked on the upside. Now you could do something even crazier, and you could do 150, which is like an overhedge. And this lowers your break even further to say a 14 or something. But in the event that the stock goes really hog wild, you actually would make money. You have this weird P&L that looks like this. You kind of lose money down here. You lose money if it stays anywhere near its current price, but you make a fortune if it goes down a lot, and you make a fortune if it goes up a lot. So there's a couple of ways to play this. If you just take unmitigated downside risk, you're basically saying, I want to go naked short, not naked short in the SEC sense, but just short without a hedge. That's fine. But you just have to be prepared that you might be wrong. And look at cassava. Cassava went from, if you guys recall, I think 3 to 100. Then it went down to the 20s when we started shorting it, and it went up to 30 before it went to 2. And in biotech, you have that exact day and time when you will, know what the results will be. Even then, they might try to squeeze you out of the stock.